Hello, my name is DC. I'll be giving a match analysis for Lokomotiv Moscow versus FK Rostov. Russian Premier League. Let's get into this one. Cross put in. First of all, that cross probably shouldn't have happened. Probably should be a bit closer. But as we see, as the cross comes in, let's make a few notes. He is marking someone. He is marking someone. He is alone. He is ball watching. He is alone. He is alone. He is alone. And what do we see here? They have more than enough men to deal with this. Because if he just stays tight to his man, and this is where the important part is, your goal is not necessarily to get first contact. Your goal is to make sure he does not get proper contact. Your goal, if he gets any contact, it should be horrible. It should be, it's to make him very uncomfortable. But this is where the problem starts. And then these two are also ball watching whilst they're marking no one. Any one of these could, he more especially since he's further behind, he could have run towards the ball, probably try to get some contact on it, but no, they decide to watch. And that's a good header. It really is. Bounces and goes into the back of the net. And even as we see here, still close enough, and the goal came from where? And you know what? I don't necessarily completely blame him because any one of these two could have taken charge of that. But that's a really good header. Let's not forget that. Let's head on to the next goal of the match. Should be somewhere. Yeah. That was a good header, though. I'm not gonna lie. All right, so counter attack. Boys played wide. At that point, to be honest, this is another one that I usually like to come to. The Sergio Ramos Pepe squeeze. If this was Ramos and Pepe, immediately that ball was played in between. One player cuts across, the other one kicks it out, and then most likely the player that's slightly behind tackles him, just to make it much more frustrating. And the fact he moves in between these two. Anyway, let's see what happens. More than enough space. And I don't know if it's because the player is quick or they just uncode because I do feel like the distance shouldn't be that much. But anyway, we move on. Goalkeeper, there's only so much he can do. The defender here, ah, I understand why he does go to the ground, but I feel it's just way too easy. Really is. Goalkeeper, there's only so much he can do. Goal. One long ball. The two defenders not really deciding whether to sacrifice. By sacrifice, I mean fouling him, give up a yellow card or something. But that just felt a little too easy. I did not. I don't know how the counter attack originally originated from. So I don't know if it's like a dispossession, maybe someone giving the ball away. I have no idea about that. But that's like tackle. I think it just felt like we all knew he was not going to take the shot from there. He sits him down, and I mean, he just goes in full force. I don't even. He just did too much. Goalkeeper for me should be rushing out. Cause as soon as let's see. As soon as a defender hits the deck, rush out now, run towards. Because at that point there's no other option. But I understand why he's frozen. But yeah, he should be running out just for the sake of it. Because he gives him. He really does give him that angle. He really does. This was a penalty. Don't know what led to it. Looks very confident. Good run up. Boom. Lovely penalty. Let's head on to the next goal. Somewhere around here. This is when they started their fight back. All right, so let's look at the marking situation again. Matter of fact, let me just draw two lines. Uh, no, let me use the box. No, that's not a good place to put the box. So in this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In this box here, 6 players that are supposed to be defending their goal. 1, 2. Something ain't right and then there's someone here unmarked. But let's see how this gets scored. Let's just see for the benefit of the doubt. Oh no, the ball lands to the unmarked person in the box. And It's just like it, it really doesn't make any sense. You have six players in this particular area, and they're only marking two people. Any one of these could have rushed out much more earlier. Anyone. You could even leave four players there. It's just a bit of. I don't think they expected it, but still, that is also a good finish. It really is. But it's just a situation where too many players take up too much space and they're not really marking anyone. So they leave players open. Cross in the ball. And let's see here. Three players around one. You know what? For the benefit of the doubt, let's just say two. Two players marking one person. Who will get first contact on that ball? Wow. Just wow. I mean, I don't know if they're not following the ball, but they should really be communicating better because each one of the any one of them could have followed that. The player in front of him could have backtracked, but you only mark what's in front of you, so he should have taken up that responsibility there. But you could have just called on for his teammate because I do hear in certain teams you're not really allowed to use certain words, so you could have just shouted a code, take a few steps back, take your hand out. If you're not touching your player with your, if you can't touch the player with your hand outstretched, you're too far away. Because at this point here, he's too far away. His hand, yeah, not quite outstretched, but if he's like that and he can't touch his man, definitely far away. The fact that he gets first contact, and then here, one, two, three players that are supposed to defend, that are supposed to be defending, one, two attacking players, and let's see who gets first contact. Once again, they're not really marking, they're just really following. When you're marking, I do understand that you sometimes don't expect for certain actions to be taken, like heading direct or just heading for the sake of it lands to another teammate. But at that point, just contact, physical contact is very important because sometimes just jumping with someone, jump as you shoulder barge, it just confuses them. It's not always that you are supposed to get first contact, but it's to make sure that the person that is trying to score their first contact should be as uncomfortable and as terrible as it can be. That's the least you can do. Free header, and it's a goal. I mean, what did we expect? They gave him all the time in the world. And this is the last goal. Sorry, after this one. All right, so this I can understand. Let's see. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven players that are supposed to be defending, and the attacking players about six. All right, so I've committed about seven players here. So I do understand letting him. Okay, crosses will eventually come, but it's how you deal with them that matters. And high line, which means you're going to run towards your own goal. First contact. Once again, they lose because they're focusing on the ball and they're not really bothered into putting that much contact. Contact is very important. If you cannot feel the person you're supposed to be marking, you are too far. And he's looking at the ball and the person is behind him. He could definitely outstretch his hand. If you feel the shot, if you can't feel the shot, keep on moving. Once you feel the shot, you're close enough. Jump with him. He loses the first contact. And already here, you have one, two. Who are they marking? We do not know. He is very free. But fortunately enough, the first contact is actually intercepted by the defender. And this is why sometimes, whenever the phrase old school center back, it's not that like they are like old school, no, no. It's that they do not play with the ball. Because other center backs, you know what they would have done? They would have headed this out. Headed it out, or in certain cases that I see regularly in the Premier League, the defender will head it to their goalkeeper. Either one of those two things. Instead, he decides to flick it. At this point, he was supposed to kick the ball as hard as he can. He doesn't do that. It's a terrible clearance. Bumps to the attacker, and he scores. Nothing the keeper could do. Let's just play that back a bit because trust me, it's the fact that the defender decides to flick it. He's supposed to get rid and then reset if it means it's a corner or throw in. Not what he decides to be too fancy. That's what happens when you're a bit too fancy as a defender. Sometimes it doesn't always work out. The best thing you can do, kick the ball high and wide. Didn't work out, quickly intercepted, goal. And just like that, they lost their lead. The game ended 3-3. very exciting match. Otherwise, this match filled with goals. I do love matches like this because, yeah, we all love to celebrate a goal in football. Anyway, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next match analysis.